Pew pew. Should be going live. Gonna make sure the microphone is correct. And the bracket should be up shortly, so we won't have too long to wait while I do the spiel. Pew pew. Alrighty, it is Cool Umbrellas. Hey, Beverett. Cool Umbrellas Friday Night Fights. His weekly land battle tournament. It is best of 1 till the finals is best of 3. So it usually moves pretty quickly compared to some other contemporaries. Yeah, looks like the bracket got shuffled. So come with me, my friends, come with me. 4, 6, 7, 7. So 14 people ended up checking in. Looks like we'll be fighting Segos, who actually just won our new player tournament yesterday. Yeah, that was yesterday. Wow, it feels like much longer ago. Anyway, so I guess I'll fight him, and then whoever wins that, I'll go fight Saber's Regnum. 14 people, we can pick a tournament favorite and a dark horse. Let's go with tournament favorite Raced. Sure. Race is pretty solid. Go with tournament favorite Raced. Dark horse will be the Phoenix King. Yeah, the Phoenix King. Let's go. We also have Rurik, who recently won our new player tournaments. Yeah, got some new player tournament champions in here. Cool. That's about it. Just making sure we are live. Yeah, cool. So I do have to go find Segos. Okay, sorry, just trying to help people out. So we will be using an army blocker, but we won't be using the scoreboard because it is best of 1 until the finals. All right, Segos is not happy to see us. He is not happy to see us at all. Holy shit, chat popped off. Hi, everybody. Ben Weasel, Tom Bombadil. Very low camera angle. I bumped it when I was starting the stream. My bad. Oh, yeah, Patrick actually might be right. It might be when I was messing around with Hazel at the end of last stream. How TPK a dark horse? I had to pick a thing. Dark horse be like not who you're predicting to win, but you could see them upsetting. All right. What do we got? Map is the Fey Fork. And he has to pick first. Okay, cool. So the pick system is pick 3, ban 3. And then I ban one of the 3 and pick something. Yeah. I know Dr. Nerd wanted to play today and he couldn't, so now I need to take a build in his honor. Or if vampire counts get banned, then I have a second build I need to take in somebody else's honor. Yahar. I forgot I have to be in the BB Discord to play it. Sure, Adiruda, I have I have a link to it. BBB invite 80. Boom. There you go, buddy. Ain't working. Weird. Sorry, someone's trying to get into the... into the Discord and they can't figure it out. Do you play Chaos Dwarfs at all? Sometimes. Sometimes. Not as much as I would have liked, but on release they're really broken, so then people got sick of watching Chaos Dwarfs quite quickly, and I didn't really want to play a ton of them because they weren't popular. But I enjoy them in their own right a little bit. Show Hazel again. She's currently taking a nap with Grace. Alright, choose Dark Elves, Ogre Kingdoms, and Bretonnia. Ban Ogre Kingdoms, Skaven, and Githea. I will go Vampire Counts. Ban none. Alright, and then Dr. Nerd sent me a build that I'm supposed to use, so let me construct it in his honor. If Vampire Counts was banned, I was going to go Beastmen and use some Bestigors, because I know Edwin really wanted that. Alright, what the hell is this build, Dr. Nerd? Why do I need Wind of Death? I don't want Wind of Death. Why do I need most of these things? I don't want most of these things. I don't like it. And then what else do I need? 2 of these. 1 of these. 1, 2. And I need 1 of these. Where did the rest of your money go? You put a single chevron on a zombie. Why? Why did you do that? Oh, okay. Alright, Ogre Kingdom's nice. Cool. Cool. Yeah, that seems fine. Ogre Kingdoms. I'm going to cut Wind of Death. I'm going to cut Wind of Death, my friend. I know you really wanted Wind of Death, but it has absolutely no... It has no place in this matchup. I'm not taking Wind of Death into fucking ogres. Oh my god. Aha, I killed some Nobblers. Perfect. Alright, sure. Let's go. It's your build in spirit. The only thing I cut from the Lord is Wind of Death, and I used it to downgrade the Tithe into a Skeleton Spearman. Otherwise, this is the build you sent me, because Wind of Death is actually useless in this matchup. Like, arguments about whether or not Wind of Death is a good spell in general aside, versus ogres, it like factually has nothing to do. He could cluster all of his ogre bowls, everything he has in one spot. I could overcast Wind of Death on it and still not gonna do anything. What up, Simon? How you doing? Versock? What's this new chat? Hey, Phoenix King. You don't think Phoenix King winning would be called an upset? Yeah, you're right. You're right. He's pretty good. That might be why I put him in the winning, along with Christ. Would Vampire Count Shielded Infantry be better against Ogre ranged? Is it better to go with Great Weapon and Infantry? Oh, Infantry versus Ogres is risky, but you probably want the Great Weapons over the Shields because Nobbler Trappers will do a bit of damage in range, but they're just going to murder you in melee for the most part. And then Lead Belchers, I don't think Shields help against Lead Belchers. I think they're like Artillery, where it just does more damage. Anyway, hey Alzak. Okay. So here we are with Mountain Blade Bannerlord. This is my starting settlement. We are in first-person mode. I need to make my way out of here. Gotta go steal a horse, buy a brewery, sell some... Oh, wait, fuck, playing Warhammer 3. Alright, so Dr. Nerd's build was this, but with the tithe. Wait, did you have 6 zombies in your build? No, you didn't. Where did I get an extra zombie? I don't know. Anyway, it was 5 zombies, including the tithe, 5 crypt ghouls, skeleton spearmen I added. Yeah, I was just into this. That's what you're seeing right now. Ooh, I don't want crypt ghouls in the forest, because if they run into ogres, they're gonna have a bad fucking time. Actually, yeah. Hold on, because ogres will take forest penalties. And then I can even run up with my Hex Wraiths and get some good damage in. Okay, now we're thinking with portals. Aside from that, we just have some other crypt ghouls. Okay, fine. Vargeists and Fellbats to annoy Lead Belchers or chase anything down. Crypt Horrors just because they're generally pretty good. And we have Helman Ghost. The dreaded one Chevron zombie. Yeah. Gorst. I don't know about taking Magical Animus. Not a huge fan of that one. The rest of this stuff looks fine. I did cut Wind of Death, as I mentioned before. Okay, you guys get over here, you guys get over here. Helman Ghost. Why can't I see those Saber Tusks? Oh, they don't have... Yeah, they do have Hide in Forest. Okay, so I guess they're just not in a forest enough. 2 Mournfang Cav with great weapons. We have the Sky Strider's Crushers, some Nobblars. I imagine there's 5 Nobblar Trappers spaced out in front of me, and I just can't see them because they're invisible. Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw seems fine. Yeah, this all seems fine. Okay, let's catch some Saber Tusk packs over there. Helman Ghost. Not in range for a good gaze, unfortunately. How's that fight going? Pretty good. Okay, let the Hex Wraiths deal with it. You guys are screwed. So the rest of you keep moving forward. Okay, nice job killing all those guys. I don't really want Gorst to go fight those guys all by himself. So we'll avoid doing that. actually, yeah. You Hex Wraiths have better things to be doing with your time. Just let the Crypt Ghouls do some of the flank murdering. Y'all are taking 55 years to get involved, though. Ooh, those Cryptors are already dead. Rest in peace, my friends. Rest in peace. Vargas need to get up into the sky. You all do need to fuck off a little bit. Let's heal these guys up. Actually, this is going okay. Okay, so Vargas, while we're busy over here, you guys go do this. And my Hex Wraiths will sandwich in the Mournfang Cav while Crypt Ghouls still do their thing. I'm going to spawn some Graveguard underneath the feet of the Sky Striders to get some good infantry support poking in. Boop. And if he continues to fight on top of them, I will have my revenge. Actually, yeah, you guys are fighting that. That's kind of important. Okay. Leadbelcher's still stopped from being able to do what they want to do. Gorst is having a bad day, so I'll try to walk away slowly. Yeah, try. The keyword. Oh man, some Mournfang Cav are beating the brakes off of my Hex Wraiths, which is really fucking bad. Alright, Gorst is dead. I generally do think this is why Hex Wraiths are not taken, though. They're kind of billed to you as a DPS fragile unit, but then they accomplish the fragile part. They don't accomplish the DPS. Like, I got these guys on top of Leadbelchers and Mournfang Cav, two targets that should get you a lot of value, and they did jack diddly fuck. So, yeah. Do not take Hex Wraiths. They are mega trash. We had fun, though. That was silly. Alright, Cryptors did fine. Crypt Ghouls honestly did better than I thought they would. Like, their value isn't going to show up. There was that one Crypt Ghoul that was on the side and fought off a Sabertusk pack. That was pretty hype. Yeah, this was a silly build, and, like, Dr. Nerd just like, this seems fun. We should take this into whatever opponent, so it wasn't, like, obviously that optimized. But it was fun. I had a good time. Alright. Double Mournfang Cav and the Sky Striders did very, very nicely. Leadbelchers are quite good against the vampire counts in general. Just force them into you, and as you can see, they are difficult for me to take out. Even with Vargeists landing on top of them, they're rather hard to finish off. Nobbler Trappers are incredibly good as a frontline versus the Undead, since the Undead don't tend to have a ton of, like, blitzing infantry that can really bust their frontline quickly. And, yeah, it was well put together, well executed build by Segos. All right, we gotta find our next game. The Phoenix King has advanced. So I think what we'll do is whoever gets matched up next between Raced and the Phoenix King, we'll just hop up there. So we'll either see Phoenix King and Bjorn / Rurik, or Raced and Ryder of Rohan / Bavaret. Meanwhile, I will check some messages off screen. Ladorm's messaging me. Alright, Dr. Nerd is not happy with me about how I played his build. He's sending me all sorts of cuss words. Alright. Where are we at? What's happening? What's going on right now? Oh, there's Phoenix King's lobby. Wonder what he's doing in there. Dwarves require no skill. What's up, my dudes? Happy Friday. Happy Friday indeed. How much Hexwraith Cross? They did crap? Like 1400, yeah. Do they still do fire damage? No. No. Not at all. Oh, my camera's a little big. Sorry about that. Anyway, Hexwraiths counts. Yeah, they just do magic damage and frostbite. But with 26 melee attack, they have a hard time getting through stuff. And they have a shockingly low charge bonus of only 34. You think Spectral Ghost Riders would have a better charge bonus? Hell, Empire Knights have 12 more charge bonus than them. Wait, 14. 14 more charge bonus. Vampire Counts Cav actually has shockingly low charge damage. Boar Boys have better... Squig Herds have better charge than most of the Vampire Counts Cavalry. 31, 34, and 72. I'm not counting the RORs. 67, I guess. So half of their cavalry is below Squig Herds. Jesus. As far as charge bonus goes. That is a very specific stat. Okay. Sorry. Got distracted by some messages. Looking for the next game. We have another contender in the race. Tids Demonin has advanced, and I will cast any of these games that gets ready to go. Besides that one, because I don't want to follow the same person through the whole tournament. Otherwise, you can get kind of stuck in that rut, and it feels bad for anybody else playing. Because they're like, bro, I have games too. How in the world are you going to kill the healing ogres? That might be a tough one for the vampire counts to do. I have been honestly a vampire counts hater for a little bit here since their nerfs. I actually think they might need buffs. As heretical as it is to say that. That was 3 hours ago. What up, Liltro? I mean, I don't like this fact. Not that Human Boy have it. A try. You're only playing meta tryhard Mondays. Dude, I am on the bandwagon that Blood Knights need some fucking AP. Blood Knights need AP, please. Black Knight's the only normal cavalry with anti-infantry? Okay, fair, but I still don't think that makes them any good. For 1,000 gold? I don't know. Their charge bonus is pretty pathetic. $26 melee attack, 34 charge bonuses, horrendous for 1,400 gold cap. Actually, yeah. I haven't really thought about Hexwraiths, but why are they 1,400 gold? Like, let's look at their contemporaries. That's 50 less gold than the companions of Quenelles. That's 300 more gold than a questing knight. Hex Wraiths cost as much as a Demigryph Knight. As much as a Demigryph Knight for a single Hex Wraith. That does not seem correct. That seems really stupid. Those are not the same unit at all. Oh my god. Maybe Blood Knights, you get a 50-50 AP trip. Yeah, that would be good. I do think Blood Knights just in general need some AP. Would you rather have Longma Riders or Hex Wraiths? I'm curious about the future of Grand Cathay. I feel like Cathay is close to being a fun faction, but they're just not right now. Ooh, game! Game. Raced and Rider of Rohan are ready. I messaged them in all caps, that's how you know it's serious. Purge the Heretic, get me a Flamer. What is this 40k nonsense? Nobody likes 40k. Literally not a single person likes 40k. I heard Games Workshop just has to buy all of their own miniatures for 40k to keep up the appearances. Alright, we have a game to go find. Raced has hosted. Here's the code. Join with code. Password is 123, I would assume. Oh shit, I joined as a player. No. No! I try really hard not to be this stupid, but what can you do? And I'll send a message to somebody else so that we have a game to go to. Ride of Rohan is here. 40k is more fun than fantasy. I have not tried Age of Sigmar. I haven't tried anything. I've read the Warhammer Fantasy books, a lot of them, still working on it. And I've played the Total War games. Then I played Vermintide and Darktide, and I like Vermintide better, but I'm also just like not a big space person. Like in general, I'm much more of a fantasy person than a space person, so I am already predisposed not to like 40k. Space Marine 2 is coming. If you're playing a game with Gotrek and Felix after banning them in a tourney for being too sweaty, we're all gonna unsub you. I feel bad because I can't watch how you play now, Segos. Hey man. There will be more streams. In fact, we have a stream. You have a stream Wednesday, Thursday, today, and then we have one on Saturday, And we won't have one on Sunday. There will be more. Who owns a 40k Stampa? It's so big and so cool. I don't even know what a Stampa is. It sounds like a greenskin unit, though. You lost against Segos? Lol? Why is that lol, Bavarat? Are you trying to say he's a shit player? Huh? Is that what you're trying to say? I'm not allowed to lose once in a while? That's rude. Shouldn't do that. How dare you? The only thing 40k is superior about is the orcs. Orcs with guns greater than orcs with arrows. Holy Sigma, bless this ravaged body. Dude, Vermintide 2 was really good. I played Vermintide 1 and I'm like, this is alright, this is okay. But then Vermintide 2 just sucked me in. That was such a good game, man. There's no Skaven in 40k. I keep forgetting that that's true, because you feel like 40k would be exactly their setting. Stampa is a big orc robot. Gotcha. Cool, cool. Anyway, Rider of Rohan, I don't see him in a lot of tournaments. He pops in every once in a while, but I just know that he's been around for quite a bit. He's part of the long-forgotten XMT clan. And I'm kind of surprised he's not playing High Elves, since that is what most of his art and shit he does is about. But we have Wood Elves versus Dark Elves, it looks like. Darktide is just poorly optimized. Yeah. Versock, you poor, poor man. You still think they're going to give Sienna a new career soon? No. They abandoned her. That was so funny. That, like, they hadn't gotten Sienna's fucking 4th career out, and then they moved on to Darktide. I know they're still releasing some stuff for Vermintide, too, but it was funny optics. $40k dwarves suck. They're supposed to have high tech, but they look like trash. Sienna Necromancer's coming soon. Who would have thought Lore Master of Sotek is right? Dude, Lore Master, I swear he has some inside information. Because, like, whenever he decides to make a video, it's, like, always correct. What are your thoughts on the Iron Demon Skullcracker? Way too powerful in melee, but they're super susceptible to range. So if you're facing one, you have to shoot it. You shouldn't go fight it. But, yeah, they're a little too strong in melee right now. I don't know how this keeps happening, but, like, CA and Chariots are either the Chariot's complete dog shit and terrible or, like, broken overpowered. And this patch is actually the best Chariot patch we've had in a while, where some overshot the mark, some way undershot it. But I think Tomb King's Chariots are okay right now. Orc Boar Chariots are okay right now. Tuskor Chariots are fine. The War Sleds of Kislev are okay. I honestly think those could use maybe a little bit of a buff in the cost reduction department. They perform okay, but they're way too much gold for what they do. Yeah. She got Chaos Dwarf t-shirt. It's just that Zotek knows literally everything about Warhammer Fantasy. True. What makes you think it's Zinch? Oh, I think he meant that she just looks that way, but not like that she is. Alright. We're getting into game. Let's go. I am trying not to shriek because Grace is in the other room trying to nap after Fridays. She usually takes her Friday nap. I'm just reading chat. You guys are all talking about Sienna. As a very short person, I'm proud to say I hate dwarves in Warhammer. I don't know what the Necromancer Sienna's powers are going to be like. That'll be interesting. Like, I wonder what her ultimate ability will be. And can you still... Ooh, that'll be weird. As Necromancer Sienna, can you still use all of your fire staves? Because normally the new career introduces a few new things, but like Grail Knight Kruber, right? You could still use... You get the Bretonnian Sword and Shield, you get the Bretonnian Longsword, sure. But you can, if you want to, use a greatsword. You can still use the mace. You can still use those things. How would Sienna use a fire staff if she was a necromancer? That doesn't make any sense. I wonder how they'll handle that. How much will you promise me, Cetra? I didn't promise shit to anybody ever. What's with the Woodsuckers resurgence lately? I think people just like them. Wood elves definitely aren't good right now, but the people who play them are just people who like elves in general. Like Rite of Rohan likes elves. The Phoenix King played Wood Elves versus me in the single faction tournament. I know he just likes all elves. Probably limits are like Warrior Priest salts. Does the Warrior Priest limit Salt Spire? I guess I hadn't thought about that. He can't take the Rapier and Pistol, can he? You get to take naps over there in America? Here in the Third World War, too poor to take naps. Oh. I'm sorry. Should use fire still. Balefire is a thing? I mean, sure. Sure. That feels a little gamey to me, but alright. For the builds, we do have 5 Witch Elves. Wow. 5 Witch Elves for the Dark Elves. Jesus Christ, going hard. Bleak Sword. Okay, look at this one guy. Look at this guy. He got so far ahead of everybody else. Okay, we have 4 Bleak Swords and 1 very excited Bleak Sword. Malice Darkblade, a Manticore, some Dark Riders, some Coldblood Knights, and a Sorcerers of Shadows of the Pit of Shades and Melkot's Mystifying Miasma. Cool, cool, cool. For the Wood Elves of Rite of Rohan, we have Sisters of Twilight on their eagle, the Hawkeyes of Jakira, Waywatchers, ROR, some Glade Riders, Great Stag Knights. One Great Stag Knight. 3 Glade Guard with Hagbane Tips, 4 War Dancers, a Branch Wraith with Melkot's Mystifying Miasma and Earthblood, and then the Winterheart Guard, ROR, Eternal Spears. Sisters of Twilight, the Waywatchers, and some basic archer support are melting down the Witch Elves on this far side. They are having a terrible time. But I wonder how the front line will go. War Dancers charging into Bleak Swords, and War Dancers take more damage on the charge than the Bleak Swords. That's depressing in every which way. But Witch Elves get charged by Glade Riders with Spears. They will get routed off because of the Discouraged from the Hawkeyes of Jakira, just making their leadership way too low to withstand. And ooh, God, okay, Malice sprints through the front line, punches the Branch Wraith in the face, and gets moving. Now, Glade Guard are under attack by Dark Riders. These archers are the best archers in the game, melee stat-wise, so they will be largely okay. You can see they're trading relatively effectively into the Dark Riders, and now Glade Riders with Spears are even coming up behind them. So, Wood Elf archers are a little tricky to shut down sometimes, but Pit of Shades will do it. Melee stats don't help anything against Pit of Shades. It's a bad time to be you. On the top area, the Witch Elves mostly got pushed off. War Dancers are beating the shit out of Bleak Swords, as you would hope, but the backline harass of Raced is coming through. You are seeing lots of Coldblood Knights, Dark Riders, Manticores. Everybody is blitzing past that front line. Rite of Rohan is up about 600 damage value. Andy is up on the balance of power, but we'll see how long it can last, because you always have to factor in. You're going to fight Malice a second time. Ooh, and this is really bad. Hawkeyes of Jakir getting Melkoffed and surrounded. If they actually get killed off, that is a huge percentage of that balance of power that's just going to go right off the map with them with all that ammunition. Sisters of Twilight even going to dive in. They're trying to get a mass break here, because while it looks bad, if I highlight this, you can see there's not actually a lot of blue Dark Elf units in here. Those Dark Riders are routing, the Coldblood Knights are almost routing, the Witch Elves are almost routing. So to bail out the Hawkeyes of Jakir, if they can actually secure some of these routes from the Coldblood Knights, that would be good. But it looks like the Coldblood Knights do manage to rally. They are going to hunt down the last of those Waywatchers. Balance of power goes right back towards the middle. Rite of Rohan has fallen a little bit behind on the damage value as his Branch Wraith continues to get murked by the son of Hag Grafe. Sisters of Twilight might have to come over and help her out in some capacity. War Dancers will make good her escape, but actually, ooh, she is just rampaging while stuck in the curse of the Witch Elves. War Dancers winning their fights, they need to stop chasing shattered units and come back to the area, though it looks like Rite of Rohan is busy doing other stuff. Sisters of Twilight's going to take matters into their own hands and get rid of those Golden Knights themselves with the Great Stag Knight support. But it's too late for the Hawkeyes. They're just kind of too low on HP and models to be effective in the rest of this game. And the game is very quickly slipping away from the Wood Elves. More War Dancers are finished off. Malice continues to hunt down the caster, and now she's routing, so she can't even cast any heals for herself. That leaves us with a very wounded Great Stag Knight, a Sisters of Twilight, and 2 wounded War Dancers versus a whole Dark Elf army, and that's just not looking good. It's not looking good for the old Witelgi. God damn, the animations on those arrows are pretty beautiful, though. I will say that. Do it again. Do it again. Oh, coward. Do it. Yeah! Ah, so pretty. So little damage, but so pretty. Alright, the War Dancers and Great Stag Knights are making their valiant last stand as Malice and everybody else comes in. Demon's Curse lowering their leadership and melee defense to actually pretty abysmal levels. I think that is the doom of the elves. And not the shitty M times omnibus, like the actual doom of the elves. I don't think there's much you can do at this point. All your ground forces are routing, so Sisters are going to be forced to land, and Malice alone could 1v1 the Sisters, and Malice has the helping hands of Witch Elves and Pharaoh Manticore. This shit is mega over. It was a pretty good game, though. Like a lot of Elf games, it was quite even, and then at one point, one side got an advantage and just slammed it home, because Elven factions in general are quite fragile. When things start tipping, they tip pretty quick. What are Bjorn and Nuruk doing? They've been playing for 40 minutes. They're either playing a best of 3 or domination. You know the Aragorn charges alone videos? Oh, actually, yeah, the Phoenix King. That stuff is great. Bleak Sword is the main character. Oh, I forgot to check the values. My bad, my bad. I forgot to check the values. I really just wanted to go watch that Bleak Sword run really fast again. Alright, our next game is ready. But I have to see that Bleak Sword again. Our next game is ready, so I'll go over there in just a second. You just fucking books it though. Alright, hold on. It's this Bleak Sword. He just fucking hauls. He hauls ass. And then he slows down. The rest of the Bleak Swords are like, dude, wait up. What the hell is wrong with you? That's so funny. I love that. It brings me joy. Alright, let's go find Tids Demonin. Tids Demonin and ODM's Sir Groot. Dr. Nerd just sent me the ROR Doom Knights of Tzeentch stats versus the ROR Hex Wraiths of the Vampire Count stats, and that is a comparison. The units are the same cost, and it's just like the Doom Knights are better on every single stat. That's fucking wild. Now you have to record that Bleak Sword as a short with a funny voiceover. I don't know what I would do to be funny. Oh, wait, for Frodo. Yeah, okay, you're right. You're right. Okay. Bogdan's saying hi. Someone asked me about fish. Little Trill. Do you like fish, sir? Fish for breakfast, fish for lunch, fish for dinner. If you want a snack, try a small fish. In Norway, I am not a big fish person. I live in the Midwest of the United States, so it's actually hard to come by fish. When you do, it's really expensive. I try, if Grace and I go out to eat, I try to order fish because then I know it'll be at least like done correctly. Because I don't like just like the taste of fish, so it has to be like done well so I can deal with it. I'm not a picky eater, so I'll generally like anything, but fish is one of those things where it's like, oh god, this is not for me. I don't like sushi either. Yeah. Yeah. And then Volkmar comes riding dirty and the beast beats the shit out of all the elves. Or sisters have fallen from grace, but I'm kind of okay with it. I don't think the sisters' design philosophy in Warhammer 2 was a very good idea. They need help for sure, but I wouldn't want them to just go back to being the Warhammer 2 Sisters of Twilight, because that shit was annoying as hell. Hi, Bogdan. I don't know if I said that or not. Except health. True. Go north, hummus, Brainerd Lakes. Oh, it says Great Walleye. Did I have a stroke? I don't know. What? It's unfortunate. I love all kinds of seafood. You guys are welcome to. You don't need my approval. I just realized my opponent asked, not my opponent, Tisdemona asked me if I'm ready. My bad. Cathay versus Corrin. Oh, this could be real bad. Okay, it doesn't look real bad. There are builds a lot more toxic than this Grand Cathay one. I could write a 500-word essay on this in chat, but I live in the southern hemisphere, so chances are we eat different fish. Probably. Dried fish is really yummy. Only fish I really like. It's made from haddock. I eat a lot of vegetables. We usually have carrots and celery around. Grace makes fun of me for just eating raw lettuce sometimes. I eat a lot of that. What else do I eat? Cereal. I eat a crap load of cereal. Cereal every morning. So at least 7 days a week. Anything else I'd eat, I just eat whatever. I don't know. For dinners, we keep running out of things to make, but I do a lot of tacos, and we have this Peruvian bake I just made with like garbanzo beans, black beans, and andouille sausage, shrimp, which ends up in the same flavor palette as a jambalaya, but whatever. The site I got it from said it was a Peruvian bake, so we just stuck with it, but it's pretty much jambalaya. Onions, red peppers. We eat a lot of peppers. Red and yellow peppers and like everything kind of sprinkled throughout the week. Hummus Boy eats the same food I feed my mice. There's a through line there. It's all about rats. Corn, mashed potatoes, oatmeal. Oh, I could fuck up corn. We actually have not had Australia? Oh boy. You are up for the long haul, aren't you? Anyway. We have not had a good corn harvest for a while in Minnesota. Normally when the corn comes due, you can get like 2 ears of corn for $1 at like most grocery stores because they just have way too much, they don't know what to do with it. But over the last years, we've been ramping up ethanol production for like E85 gasoline that's made out of corn. And last 2 summers, at least where I live, we had some pretty fucking terrible droughts. So the corn yields weren't very good at all. It's actually been maybe 3 years since I had like a good proper corn roast, but that shit's hype. If you live in the Midwest and it's like harvest season, oh, you can get some good barbecues going. Because corn's really cheap. And when corn's cheap, then animal feed is cheap. When animal feed's cheap, then like a lot of cuts of meats take a cost decrease. So you can have some good pork chops, steaks, corn on the cob. Shit's hype. You know, your life sucks when the North Sea lies way to the south. Oof. How often do you eat cheese? About once every other day. How much corn for $1? 2 years. All right. I gotta actually cast the game. No more talking about corn. Everybody stop it. For Cathay, we have triple Jade Warriors with halberds, a shitload of peasant long spearmen along the sides, 5 Iron Hail gunners, a single grand cannon, Miao Ying the Storm Dragon with Earthblood Regrowth and Talons of Night, a Sky Lantern, and the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin. Again, sorry if I am a little quiet. Grace is 2 rooms to my left trying to take a nap, so I'm trying to keep my volume at a certain level. Stop talking about corn and start talking about corn? Ha! Okay. On the other side, for corn, we have 2 Chaos Warhounds of corn, 1 Fleshhound, double Chaos Chariots of corn, and then Marauders and Chaos Warriors with dual weapons, Brutes the Hound Berserkers, and a single Chosen of corn with dual weapons, as well as Valkia up in the sky with her spear. Ow. Alright, Chariot's already missing a quarter of their HP. I like seeing Cathay, I hate seeing Metathay, trying to use the actual roster as a combined arm instead of generic boxing. Yeah, the roster so heavily incentivizes boxing with the way Harmony currently works, and it's just stupid. Hey, by the way, can I get Empire or Vampire Coast cannons or Warp Lightning cannons that work that well? Thanks, CA. I wish my cannons were that fucking good. For anybody who ever wonders about, like, artillery nerfs, and they're like, what are you talking about? All artillery is equally bad. Like, that's just how artillery is supposed to be. Play 1 game with Grand Cathay artillery, and you're like, can all my artillery be this incredible? It's so good. Spear Slapner takes half health off the first Jade Warrior halberd. Cool, cool. Where's the second chariot? There you are. You're fine. Well, you're not about to be fine. Dodge, 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 dodge. You need to dodge. Nice job. You tried. Iron Hail Gunners teeing off onto the Brutes of the Hound as they meander forward, axes raised, and a couple brutal sprays of blood. They are less than half HP just getting to the front line. Chaos Warriors of Corn are going to get there soon. Chariot's thinking about opting into the fight, and Valky is also being a little bit standoffish for now. Chaos Warriors are almost here. Rear charge from the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin. And how does the Chariot charge go now that the charge defense is broken? Not great. Not great at all. Not a lot of damage over there. So Khorne is starting to collide with some of the Peasant Long Spearmen. Their 36 melee defense and not a lot of armor is helpful-ish. I mean, 36 melee defense is still pretty high, but we'll see. Chosen of Khorne getting caught in a Talons of Night. Their 15% spell resist won't save them, but it looks like it was undercast, judging by how much damage it's doing, so that is lucky. That wasn't overcast. Khorne is down about 3-1 in damage value, and it's hard to disagree with those results. This is usually how Cathay versus anybody goes. But man, these Chaos Chariots of Khorne need some serious fucking buffs, because they aren't doing nothing. They aren't doing a goddamn thing. Valkia tries to fly in. She doesn't have the Demon Shield, so she has no way of mitigating this damage on the approach. Cannons are trying to hit her, but the Iron Tail Gunners are doing most of the work. Fleshhounds and basic Chaos Warhounds have nothing to do. They can't really get into the box to disrupt the backline. They need at least one break to happen somewhere. But these Jade Warrior Halberds at, you know, like 1/4 of their HP or less, their leadership is still 40 because of how Harmony works, so they ain't going anywhere. And it is very, very difficult to break into this box at all. Gotta hate Cathay's current design. Nice spear Sleipnir. Hits 3 units, does a little bit of damage to them. None of them are going to break, so it doesn't seem to matter. The front line finally collapses a little bit as Chosen of Khorne and Brutes of the Hound barely manage to get through Jade Warrior Halberds. They can start getting onto the Iron Hails, but the Iron Hails can just shoot them. It is looking like GG. Who thought Harmony was a good idea? Idiots. I don't know. Cathay has like the potential to be fun, but the entire Harmony mechanic is just built to be dumb. No, don't spread out. You have to be right next to each other for this thing to work at all. Okay. What else do we get? We get some of the best spears and halberds and basic holding infantry in the entire game. Okay, I'm starting to think this might be a box faction. Fleshhounds of Khorne finally do get inside. Getting some good damage onto the Iron Hails and cannons, though army losses is about to hit, so it is too late for the Fleshhounds. Also, I wish all cannons were as good as the fucking Grand Cathay cannons. I wish my Empire cannons could hit anything. Goddamn Grand Cathay cannons being good at stuff. I want to be good at stuff. Another Talons of Night, and there goes the army losses. Stupid Cathay cannons. Why can't I have good cannons? Oh, Relentless Rage. I was wondering why these Chaos Warriors weren't breaking when everything else was. GG. Projectile size isn't taken into account in those stats, yeah. Do you guys in the USA drink sour milk? No. I don't think we do. Can you curse silently? Fart. I don't know what you're fucking talking about. You ignore my message? I was just getting caught up. I swear I read your message, Bellacore. Yeah, he went Grand Cathay versus me and basically banned all my mains without realizing it was pick 3, ban 3, hurt my poor heart. And then I said rip. Alright. Not a lot to evaluate here. The Khorne build struggles versus the Cathay build. Oh, I'm so jealous, man. Like, if you... sometimes it is hard to separate when I'm memeing and when I'm being serious. I am being serious that Grand Cathay cannons felt like most cannons did in Warhammer 2, like accuracy-wise and honestly damage-wise. And then all artillery got nerfed, which, as an artillery player, I'm like, hey, that sucks. I want artillery to be good. I want artillery to be good, but that's fine. At least all artillery sucks. So then I look across the board and like all artillery is underperforming really bad. But then there's this like remnant, right? There's this one cannon, the Grand Cathay cannon, that's still really good. And it just like reminds me of days long gone. And I'm like, make my cannons good again. I want to hit things. And of course, you're going to point out, like, the Hailstorm Rocket Battery ROR is really good. Yeah, that's an ROR. That's not what I'm talking about. Like, talking about in general. Artillery in general is not what used to be in Warhammer 2. Except for Grand Cathay. Their cannons are still super good. And I just love artillery. You have no idea. My first 3 factions were Skaven, Dwarves, and Vampire Coast. And my most common Vampire Coast build was 2 cannons and then 2 mortars behind them. I love artillery. You have no idea. It's my favorite thing. It actually is. Like, there's no meme about that. It is actually my favorite playstyle. I love artillery. Love the sound it makes. Okay, I messaged Bjorn and Sabrus. This is where we're at. So we have 2 semifinals and a final. We will cast all of them. So Bjorn is not responding. I can see Raced's lobby, so I'm just going to join Raced's lobby. And I'll tell Bjorn and Sabrus to wait for stream. Wait. Okay, that was weird. Sorry about that. Anyway, I found race lobby, but this is where we're at with the thing. So VOD raced, ODM's Sir Groot. I believe Sabrus is newly minted BBB, and VOD Bjorn. So not Bjorn. VOD has 2 semifinalists. How's Chorf Artillery multiplayer? Currently, not very good. Right after patch 3.0, when Chorfs were first released, it was, well, just the magma cannon was really good. The other stuff was pretty bad. And now the magma cannon got nerfs, and all of it's just bad. When they get buffed to Harmony, it's a massive buff for their accuracy and damage. I didn't know Harmony did accuracy. I thought it was just reload skill. Someone here said you need chevrons on artillery to make viable again. I don't think you should need chevrons to make a unit start working like it should. Because, like, the main problem I have with artillery, honestly, is twofold-ish. Their accuracy is fucking abysmal across the board for some reason. But even so, let's pretend that's not a thing. The main problem with artillery is something about the scaling up in Warhammer 3 to ultra unit size. Artillery doesn't feel like it should. There's certain units where it does. Like, artillery does very well to Kugath. I get that. But I feel like Stegodons and stuff, maybe it's just because healing is so powerful, but it feels like Stegodons just walk straight into Empire cannons. And, like, cannons are blasting this dinosaur in the face. And they'll do maybe a quarter of its HP before it just walks up to them and shuts them down. And I'm like, this is kind of the biggest and best gun I have. I feel like it should do a little more damage. Now, obviously, it's a very tricky balance, because you don't want cannons to be so powerful that it's like, I started the game, my dinosaur got shot 3 times from across the map, and now it's dead. Like, that sucks. But I think there's a middle ground we could get to here. Bjorn is actually Bjorn. Harmony for cannons gives 12's reload skills, speed, and leadership. Yeah, that sounds right, Nico Boy Blue, because I remember it wasn't just raw damage. All right, the other semifinal is also getting set up. I have told them to do their picks and bans and builds and wait for the stream. So we'll go from this one straight into that one, into the finals. You should co-cast with some people from chat. They're very knowledgeable. I don't think that's true. I think everybody sucks besides me. Me. Reyes is still hovering Dark Elves. I'm not sure if he was already on Dark Elves. Circuit's going Vampire counts. So I guess Reyes is going to finals. I just have no hope for the counts. I played them versus Blood Penguin earlier. Got my ass handed to me. None of my units felt like they did any damage. And we played them earlier on stream, but that was different. Yeah, so Groot is actually putting together a vampire count build. So it looks like what he picked. Empire Mortars are kind of slept on since people tend to take Hellstorms instead for the blob clear. Maybe? But I feel like Mortars in general just struggle to get their DPS out before basic archers can get into range and just murder them. Regionals. Alright. Empire Mortars, already read that. Sir Groot played a lame Cathay box. Does he deserve to win? I don't judge people for one build one time. Eldrin messaged me. I see. Stretched. Oh, God. Okay, Bjorn in chat. I might be coming over to you guys sooner than expected. I might dodge this game. I might not want to cast this game anymore. On the topic of artillery, it would take 198 seconds for one unit of dwarf cannons to kill a Dreadsaurian. That is 3.5 minutes of shooting in the face. God damn it, Umbrella, you pushing your content on me. I have a very weird question. Do you know where a non-US resident get the databases of Lionic codes? ICD-9, ICD-10s are available. I don't know what those are, my friend. I'm sorry. I don't want to cast this game, so I'm not gonna. You can't make me. I'm gonna play something else. Ooh, did I finish my tea? Oh, I did. God damn it. Some people are messaging me about things. Okay. Dealt with that. Sir Groots is ready. Raced is reconsidering some things. All right. Our medical codes, with ICD being split on codes for ailment and treatment. I did not know that. Should Greater Demons of Slaanesh have artillery block chance? I don't know. I wouldn't trust CA to implement that. Okay, sorry for the delay. I was getting asked some questions and had to answer those, but also we were just waiting on the builds. Are we ready for Dark Elf Kite versus Vampire Count's flying things? Healing intensity could be modified on different units if we do on some bullet sponges like Dread Swords to remain good after healing nerfs. Yeah. I mean, you could nerf healing, and then if like really big monsters are underperforming after healing gets nerfed, you could just buff those individual monsters. But healing in general, getting switched to percentage base, just makes anything with a high HP pool way better to heal. Sir Groot is really growing on you now that he picked VC. He has a pretty competitive build too. We'll see how it goes. I've tried Cairn Wraiths before. They're mixed. They're mixed. They do okay versus Chaos Dwarves. Not amazing though. This is officially a meme tournament now? This is actually a pretty serious Vampire Counts build. And a pretty serious Dark Elf build. Because Vampire Counts 4 Vargheists has been meta for a while. They have armor piercing and good charge damage, unlike Blood Knights, because Blood Knights don't have armor piercing. And being flyers, they're generally pretty skittish. They can get away from stuff that would otherwise catch other units, and they can just get healed up. So, 4 Vargheists is pretty meta, actually, in a lot of matchups. Manfred has also been meta recently because of Fate of Unit and Spirit Leech being super strong. So he tends to take those. Yeah. And the Dark Elf build from Raced is quite standard against Vampire Counts. We'll see how long it takes them to actually get engagement, but Scourge Runners got nerfed, so I don't think it'll be nearly as punishing, but Scourge Runners and Black Corsair Handbows just running around in circles is pretty usual. Is Spirit Leech super strong? It feels meh. Yeah, it's very strong. It's very, very strong. People are always taking this shit because it's super cheap. Does a pretty good amount of damage, and then also casting it gets you more Winds of Magic to cast more of them. Like, it gives you more Winds of Magic. Not just recharge, it like physically more. So if you cast a bunch of Spirit Leeches in the end of the game, you'll have like spent 72 magic while your opponent only had access to 60 or whatever. What do you think of jalapenos on your subs? It's pretty good. I'm trying to come up with a nice name for playing PvP in Total War 3. I was thinking of Max Van Du. An undead name. I mean, I would pick Boney Fighterton. Alright. First group, we have 5 Cairn Wraiths, 5 Zombies, 4 Vargheists, Corpse Cart with an Unholy Lodestone, and Manfred von Karstein with Spirit Leech, Fate of Una, Zombies, and Invocation of the Heck up on his Dragon. Ha! Count Fused. I like that one a lot, Veltro. That was good. That was good. On the other side, for Raced, we have 2 Witch Elves to provide a bit of rampage. Again, if like Manfred or someone or the Vargheists land and they get rampage, that'll do a lot of damage to them. Dread Spears, we have 2 of those. 1 Black Corsair, 2 Cold One Knights, 2 Scourge Runner Chariots, and then 4 Black Corsair Handbows, Serene Sorceress of Dark with Soul Stila and Opal Amulet. V in German sounds like F, so it's Max Fondue. Oh, it's Max Fondue. Okay, yeah, I got it. I thought the exclamation point was supposed to be an L and you slipped on your keyboard and I just wasn't going to point it out. Boney Fighterton, welcome to the Bone Zone. And we're off. You might want a newspaper. The early stages of this game are going to be slow. This, man, when Dark Elves were super strong and before the Vampire Counts nerfs, and this was a much more meta matchup, I just fucking hated it. I hated this matchup so much as a caster. Because, like, the first minutes are just the Vampire Counts walking forwards, trying to keep their high-value assets out of range of the skirmish stuff, and the Dark Elves are just trying to skirmish and get as much damage out before you actually hit their real forces as you can. And the Vampire Counts will pretty quickly kill the Dark Elf forces, but then they'll still have to chase around the skirmishers for the rest of the game. It's like, I get it, and I understand why both sides are doing what they're doing, and it makes sense, but as a viewer, I'm always like, ugh. At least the Scourge Runners got nerfed. Manfred takes a little bit of poke. And he dodges some. Each dodge hurts a lot, though. These guys don't have a ton of ammo. Make them play on max speed. Well, already we're getting little lag spikes at normal speeds. I don't know if they can handle max. If Chariots were better at hurting melee infantry, I would suggest the Scourge Runners just keep cycle charging the Cairn Wraiths, and if the Vargheists ever come for them, then they walk away and shoot at the Vargheists. But we all know Scourge Runners are terrible melee combatants, so it looks like Circuit's just gonna... Race is just not gonna bother. Manfred is a bold choice to shoot at because you can see how well he's usually dodging these things. I would probably prefer you shoot at the Corpse Cart or the Vargheists, but honestly I think the Corpse Cart would be a good shout out. Corpse Carts are undervalued. If you can just take them out, you take out some pretty good healing, take out a bunch of melee buffs and all that stuff, and they can't dodge. Like, you can't dodge shit with a Corpse Cart. I don't know. Vargheists are still a better target than Manfred, though. Getting a good amount of damage out. It's much harder to fully dodge with a multi-entity model than as a single entity. Yeah, look at that damage on those Vargheists. Anyway, elsewhere, Black Ark Corsair Hambos are trying to get away. Now, what is nice about these Cairn Wraiths is they have 48 speed, and they have Frostbite, so if they get onto anybody, like these Black Ark Corsair Hambos, they just get nuked. And their speed goes down. Fate of Buna onto the Golden Knights is going to do a lot of damage, and this whole flank is kind of collapsing as more and more Cairn Wraiths show up, and the Dark Elf Kite is faltering. Ooh, a couple misplays here from the Dark Elf player. These Black Ark Corsair Hambos are getting caught by the Cairn Wraiths and torn apart as the Scourge Run Chariots continue to run up the backline and try to get some stuff done. I imagine we'll see a damaged Soul Stealer here soon. Even though she doesn't need the healing, this is just so many units clumped on top of each other. Most Dark Elf players will just chuck down a Soul Stealer for the damage. And she is getting surrounded by Vargheists. It's not the worst thing in the world. There it is. It's going to hit 2 Vargheists and a whole bunch of Cairn Wraiths and stuff. Cool, pretty decent showing there. This is a rough start for the Dark Elves, though. Black Ark Corsairs getting caught was brutal. Yeah. Other Black Ark Corsairs are trying to shoot at Vargheists on their way out the door, but out the door they shall go. Manfred took a good amount of damage, but he's just going to heal it up, and Witch Elves and Dread Spears are surrounded. Even some of them are already terror routing. Manfred dives in to make sure those are finished off swiftly. Golden Knight's going to snipe out the Corpse Cart. Good stuff there from the Dark Elves and the southern area. The Witch Elves and Dread Spears are cleaning up a lot of zombies and Cairn Wraiths and such, so south side of the fight's going well for the Dark Elves, but the north side's going pretty bad. Overall, the damage value is slightly in Race's favor, quite even on the bounce power for now. If you have a Breath Attack, that is a good clump of Vargheists to use it on. I think she... Oh, no, she has it up. Okay. She starts to use it now. They're a little less clumped, but still does actually pretty good damage on those Vargheists. Another Vargheist has taken a lot of damage, and the other two are doing fine for now, but those Vargheists are the big targets we really got to take out. Corpse Cart's dead. Huge boon there for the Dark Elves in the long-term run of this game. Black Ark Corsairs moving on to the Cairn Wraiths. They're 100% armor piercing. Should get them through the Corsairs rather effectively, but still, their stats just aren't really there. Corsairs will be okay overall. Another Soul Stealer onto the healthy Vargheist, and Manfred does hit him just before he gets out of range. And she's currently just tanking up damage to make sure the Vargheists stand here in front of these Black Ark Corsair Hambos. This is a bit of a bait by the Dark Elf caster, and the Vampire Counts are falling for it. Another Rampage onto the Cairn Wraiths. They can't pull back even if they wanted to. Golden Knights are getting in and out of there. And how are we doing across the board? Dark Elf's starting to pull ahead on the damage value and the balance of power. I would tend to agree. We're going to have to see some good shenanigans out of Manfred here, who is lines up for a nice breath attack. Does he even have it? It looks like no, otherwise he would have used it down the line on those two hand bows, so unfortunate there. Vargheist taking a lot of damage. Still have 3 on the field, though 2 are rather injured. The Vampire Counts made the mistake of trying to snipe out a Soul Stealer caster. Unfortunately, you do usually have to just ignore them until the late game, otherwise they'll Soul Stealer bait you into some stuff. Jade Vampires. Alright, this lady landed. I wouldn't hate to see a breath attack onto her or the Cold One Knights. Ooh, big Soul Stealer from the lady as Manfred tries to dodge it. He was not inside the circle, I guess, even though it kind of looked like he was, but the circle was moving around a whole bunch, so I don't know where the actual center was. And there's a breath attack from him, but just as he does it, she dives out of the way, and the Opal Amulet plus Soul Stealer is keeping her safe, and Manfred's even trying to land on her now. This seems folly. She is healthier than he is, and she has anti-large cavalry support, and she has archer support, and she has Scourgebringer support, so this is just Manfred going in all alone. Though I suppose he doesn't have too much choice. The last of his Vargeist is way far away, not really doing that much damage. Manfred's heal cap is already within sight. I don't know where the Supreme Sorceress is just yet. Looks like the Dark Elves are going to take this one as the Vampire counts continue their reign of struggling. Struggling. Marcus, I'll get there in just a second. Manfred is putting in an honorable showing, honestly, for how poorly this could be going for him. Black Arc Crystal Handbows are getting pushed off, but Manfred, in a very cool dragon animation, takes a nasty shot, and Army Losses is going to shut him down, stopping the animation mid-flight. And the Supreme Sorceress of Dark lands a little confused as to what just happened. GG, well played to Raced. I was super worried when those Black Arc Corsair Handbows got caught, but it seems like overall he knew what he was doing and executed it quite well. And thankfully, I will say, he didn't prolong the early skirmish game nearly as long as I thought he would, so hats off to you, Raced. Even if, like, it might have been technically better play to, like, be much more coy about the engagements and much more faffing about. As a caster, I'm generally just like, nice. Didn't have to sit through a bunch of nonsense. Alright, Vargeist struggled with their value back. Manfred did well. The Cairn Wraiths honestly did okay. Zombies did okay too. But yeah, the Vargeist just got shut down really effectively by Raced. GG. We're going to the other semifinal. Okay, Marcus, I will respond, but I have to get into this next lobby so that they aren't waiting on me further. 1, 2, 3. And for some reason it said that the other player isn't here yet. Alright, hopefully Bjorn will return soon. So Marcus is a $20 donation. One, thank you for the donation. That's very, very, very kind of you. Forgot how nice land battle casts are. Haven't seen much of them since game 2. We are here for you, buddy. This is a pretty much land battle only channel. So yeah, if you like land battles, subscribe. We have 2 more streams this weekend besides this one. We have Saturday and Sunday 2 sweaty tryhard tournaments. We have a weekly new player tournament, and I try to fit in some more fun, less super sweaty tryhard stuff here and there. But yeah, usually about 3 or 4 streams a week of pure land battle nonsense. So we're here for you, man. We're here for you. And if you like that content, you should subscribe so that YouTube recommends us to more people, and more people can find out we exist, and then I can get all their money, and then I can become powerful. Or whatever non-cringe people say. I don't know where Bjorn is, so we're kind of awkwardly waiting. I wonder if something happened or if they played their semifinal without telling me. Which I would like a replay of that, if that is the case. So we're here with Sabrus Regnum. Gonna fight Bjorn. Raced is waiting in the finals. And remember, I picked Raced as my tournament favorite. So y'all looking pretty silly right now. As for Sabrus and Bjorn, if you are new to the channel, Bjorn has actually been taking a bit of a break from the game as far as I know. I haven't seen him nearly as much on my streams or in the Vermin League ladder. So yeah, he's been around. He plays a lot of Vampire Coast and Tomb Kings are the 2 main ones I've seen him playing, but he plays a bit of Chaos Dwarves, plays some other stuff. He's just generally pretty good at the game. pretty good overall, and he has kind of a unique flavor, unique style he likes to bring. That could be pretty fun to watch. As for Sabrus, he also has a very unique style. He's been around the game for quite a bit. I think he started seriously tryharding about a year ago. No, not that. Maybe last fall. I don't remember. Recently-ish, he got a new computer, and with its increased performance, he felt like actually like trying to win and stuff. And now when I say sweaty tryhard, like he has builds that are very, very different than traditional builds. And he has a very different read on the meta. But I just meant that like his old stuff he used to take was like pure meme, and he was just doing it for the laughs. And then recently, when he got his new computer, he's been actually trying to win. But he loves dwarves. He has super strong dwarven builds, and they generally go with the theme of being a super tight box build. But he has some factions that I think according to him, I haven't fact checked this, but he's like, he's played like 36 games versus Warriors of Chaos, and he hadn't lost a single one. He played like 12 games versus Khorne as the dwarves, and he lost one of them. Like shit like that. So he has pretty good win rates on the dwarves. However you feel about dwarven boxes, so yeah. I think Sabrus has still been playing. We just haven't seen him too much on my streams because he and I had a bit of a falling out. But this is not my tournament. I'm just casting it. He is allowed to be here. It's not midsummer, is it? Him being Swedish might be outside running around naked or on a big wooden pole. I can't tell if you're kidding. Legio, Dwarf Boxy is Sabrus Regnum. He has other builds too. And he is a pretty good player. He is a pretty good player. Alright, they're making a new lobby, it seems. Because Bjorn was having technical issues with that lobby. It was telling him it was full even when it wasn't. It sucks to fight with friends. Shit happens. We'll get over it. Dun, dun, dun. It's hard for me to judge how good he is. I'm just talking about like win rates. I think he has a pretty high win rate. He's pretty good. New lobby code. And hopefully these guys have done their picks and bans beforehand, even with the technical difficulties. Spec slot, please. Win rate has nothing to do with skill? Alright. He usually only boxes? He very, very frequently boxes, yeah. Boxes reported. Alright, we're back. Bjorn is on the dwarves and Sabrus is on the Empire. Looked outside one sec, and the Vampire Council lost. I didn't expect that. When I saw the Karen Rice deep inside the Dark Elf Lines. Yeah, Raced had some really good baits where, like, he put his Dark Elf caster in a bad situation on purpose, it seemed. Now, obviously, it could be a happy accident, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say it was on purpose. So he got his, like, Dark Elf caster to fight Manfred, and then a bunch of our guys came over to support Manfred, but meanwhile, there were 2 Black Arc Corsair Hambos and some Scourge Runners shooting at the big pile of giant flying bats and just getting a ton of damage out. or he would land his Dragon Lord in some Witch Elves, and then they would rampage the Vargeists, and then he could cast Soul Stealer on the Blob. Like, there was just some really good mistake punishment from the Dark Elves, and it wore the Vampire Cats down quite quickly. Do you want to report the Mongols for using horse archers? No. I think it was at least preventing me from breathing on his Blob, which is why he had to attack me. I see, Groot. But it is not Sabrus on the box of the dwarves this time. Actually, I don't know if I've ever seen Bjorn play the dwarves. This is interesting. Taking the dwarves versus the master dwarf player. It's hard to tell if we're lagging out in the pre-game. Yeah, okay. Gelt's moving his wings. We're fine. Not enough rockets. So this matchup, traditionally, by the way, is very, very bad for the Empire, but I feel like Empire players have been getting a lot better at it. So we have 2 Outriders grenade launchers in the Vanguard, a Sterling's Revenge Free Company Militia ROR in the Vanguard, 5 Spearmen, 2 basic Outriders, more Empire Knights. We have the Black Lions War Wagon Hellblaster Volley Guns ROR type thing, Empire Knights, the Sunmaker, Balthasar Gelt with Final Transmutation and Searing Doom. For the dwarves, we have a bunch of Dwarf Warriors. Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, Dwarf Warriors, Slayers, a basic Rune Lord, not Thoric. And then in the Mass Vanguard, we have Norgumwing's Ironbreakers. What? Norgumwing's Ironbreakers have Vanguard? I actually didn't know that. Anyway, Norgumwing's Ironbreakers, a shit ton of Miners of Blasting Charges, a bunch of Rangers, including Bugmans, regular Rangers, and Ulthar's Raiders. Versus Bloodpenguin, the First Lady's Quest Elimination round out of 8 he did. I don't know what that's in reference to, Bird. My bad. Oh, okay, yeah, you're talking about Bjorn playing the dwarves. I gotcha. So both players repositioning a bit. This might be tough for the Empire, because if they have some stuff out of position with their own Vanguard shenanigans, like, this shit's not going to be nearby enough for all this. The Sunmaker is going to get taken out pretty quickly from the Vanguard rear attack, and then it's like you're out an 1,800 gold piece. Yeah. Oh, well, we'll see. I feel like the Black Lions should be okay, though, because without a cannon or anything of the sort, the Black Lions should be fine, because without a cannon punishing them, they should be able to outrange most stuff and shoot to their heart's content if they're effectively microed. I don't know if that'll be enough, but we'll see. I don't know if you know this, Bjorn means bear. I did not know that. I heard a ding. They're readying up. I mean, what can these guys even do? They can't outrun the dwarves. That's not a sentence you usually get to say. Hailstorm Rocket Battery. Might get some shots off one of these Dwarf Warriors as soon as we start. Bit of a leg spike. And the Black Lions just ran over somebody's fucking, like, house? Or what is that? Oh, it was a little shrine to Gork and Mork. Okay. Well, now I kind of wish it was a house. That's fucked up. Look at them run with their little legs. Oh, they're trying. Ooh, he's trying. So the Empire advanced a bit, trying to find the dwarven forest campers. And March by Ulthar is thrown out against the Sunmaker, just really trying to delete them as the arrows come in. Minus 30 armor. The other stuff doesn't matter because this unit doesn't have missile resist or shields of any kind, but minus armor is going to hurt. The Sunmaker crew starts to get away. I don't know how they're getting away. They have less speed than any Dwarven unit here, but they are somehow gaining ground. Good for them. It's going to be an Empire kite game versus Dwarves that is lagging. Oh no. Hopefully that resolves itself because my brain is not ready for 40 real-time minutes for a 20-minute game of Dwarves walking after the Empire and seeing if the Empire runs out of ammo or not. So Sunmaker's offline. Their actual artillery pieces are all the way back here as their crew continues to run away. Still, I am very confused how that artillery crew got so far ahead of the Dwarves. I wonder if their speed is a lie, and they actually have a much faster speed than the Dwarves when they're not on their mounts. I don't know, but they definitely aren't moving at 20 speed, because they're outrunning the Dwarves, which makes no sense. Miners bossing charges, trying to fight off those Empire Knights, and doing decently well at it, especially when the Quarrelers here are about to support. Yeah, that's a good trade overall for the Dwarves. I don't know if the Dwarves are so slow or if it's such big lag. It is the lag as Miners blasting charges throw at the poor little spearmen. And that's a mostly dead spearman. Ow, ow, ow. Ooey, owie. They did done pick Dowie. The more Dwarf Warriors are collapsing in. Spearmen are running forward into the jaws of the Dwarven trap. They will soon be surrounded and killed. Meanwhile, that Empire Knight that tried to disrupt the Miners blasting charges charges straight at some Rangers. And it'll do some decent damage to the Rangers. They only have 40 armor. Most of the Dwarven units are too armored for such things. As more Dwarves turn towards the Empire Knights that are charging straight in, Miners blasting charges chuck at them while they disrupt one Ranger, another Bugman's Ranger, and an Ulthar's Raiders, who will punish them for their transgressions as Gelt throws out a Searing Doom to try and get those little guys. And they pivot, but they do not dodge. Still, actually, don't take as much damage as I would have supposed. Empire is taking a lot of damage in this trade. A lot, a lot, a lot. So the good things for the Empire is the Black Lions are safe, their Outriders are all safe, Stone's Revenge is safe, all that stuff. The bad things for the Empire is their Spearmen are almost all dead, and their Empire Knights are not doing so hot either. Also, we do have a Dwarf Warrior hidden in the trees. Just saying, that is a thing. He's over there. Is the 20 speed just with the artillery? Their unit card says 20 speed right now when they're off the artillery, so I just assumed that was correct. I guess I shouldn't assume anything's correct. Nice Searing Doom from Gelt, though it does almost as much damage to the Empire Knights as the Ulthar Raiders. And then marked by Ulthar. No, it's a Rune of Slowness. Ooh, that's going to be tough to get out of. Yeah, Slayers try to catch up with them with a Rune of Slowness. The Empire Knights are going to break. Ekron's Miners getting rid of those Spearmen once again. The Dwarves are actually holding steady with the Empire on damage value, because they're killing a bunch of chaff and random shit. And I also think that for some reason the damage value isn't accounting for everything, because that damage value, 1,300, is like an Empire Knight and 500 gold more. Well, we have 2 almost dead Empire Knights here, and then a bunch of dead Spearmen, so there's no way that gold damage value is correct, because the Dwarves have done way more than that. Anyway, I digress. The main point is that a lot of the Empire's actually, like, damaging stuff is still alive and well. Outriders do actually get outranged by the Rangers and Bugman's Rangers. That'll be heavily on the Black Lions to help deal with them. I do think the Dwarves are in a commanding position, though. Black Lions firing in, targeting the worst possible single dwarf target, because all the rest were in a big clump. Damn you, Black Lions being dumb. And Rangers are punishing Stone's Revenge, while Slayers are actually trying to catch up to them. 40 speed versus only 36. Yeah, so Slayers can follow Sterling's Revenge. They can't get away. Oof, and losing Sterling's Revenge is going to be really rough, because the Black Lions are pissing through ammo, actually really fast. And then that'll leave you with just Rangers and Quarrelers versus Skirmish Cav, and the Skirmish Cav gets outranged by the Rangers. It seems blasting charges don't count. Yeah, I think you're right, which is dumb. Which is dumb. I have 2 pings. Is it about this game? Okay, you think Bjorn is having internet issues? Damn. That would not be a first. He can sometimes have lag issues. Alright, a big Searing Doom in. But Bjorn does dodge. Sabris is attempting to kite a bit. His Outriders grenade launchers... Oh, they found the mystery dwarves. Oh. We needed those mystery dwarves. Christmas was around the corner. So Outriders and Outriders grenade launchers continue to get a bit of damage, but the Empire infantry is all getting pushed off. The Rune Lord is just fine. And how are we doing overall? 2 Outriders grenade launchers, 2 Outriders. Okay, cool. And the Hellstorm Rocket Battery crew is holding a lot of balance of power in full health and full ammunition, even though that ammo is useless unless they can get to right here on the map. Black Lions tearing through Rangers. Ouch. And Miners are feeling a bit of the wrath of the grenade launcher at the moment. Akron's Miners are kind of booking it. Ooh, did they get a charge bonus? Hang on, I didn't want to miss that volley because that looked pretty, but if they're getting a weird charge bonus where they can actually get a speed boost versus the Sunmaker crew, they might be able to catch them. Rangers do get a nice volley onto the Outriders, but it looks like Sabris might have been a little distracted. Every volley you can get here is super critical just because of how this game is going to go. Searing Doom onto Ekron's Miners, but they are forced to back off to dodge the damage. Now Outriders will catch them, but Dwarves are just continuing to walk forward. They're generally fine with this. Are those Slayers? No, okay, good. If they're Slayers fighting Spearmen, that would be a horrible misallocation of resources. More grenades, killing more miners. And welcome to peak performance. Dwarves walking away. Wait, dwarves walking towards the Empire, who is walking away. Oh, there's a fight in the trees happening that, like, no one knew existed. Okay. Slay the Manlings? They actually had that voice line? What the fuck, dwarves? Brutal. Anyway, let's go back to the actual fight. I doubt the outcome of that battle in the woods will have significant impact on the overall game state. Dwarf Warriors getting Searing Doomed. The Black Lions trying to dodge away from Rangers as more Outriders move to the outskirts of the map. It looks like they're going to kite Slayers, but Slayers are shielded, technically. And they're spaced out pretty good, so I wonder how much damage the Outriders will even do. None. They refuse to fire. But they are now running into range of 3 Rangers. I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared for the Outriders, not gonna lie. Alright, they're retreating now. What is this over here? Outriders grenade launchers continuing to kite away. Other Outriders continuing to kite away. Gelt will peel himself from those miners with a nice big Searing Doom. Kills a lot of them off. And the Hellblaster... These fucking guys. They've run literally across the entire map. Ooh, Ulthar's Raiders is way back there for some reason. I don't know what that's about. I partially wonder, I doubt it's intentional, but it would be kind of funny if he left a stealth unit sitting by the Hellstorm rocket battery, like the actual batteries, so that, like, eventually, if Sabris did something cheeky and he got his crew back there, these guys are just sitting there ready to kill them. That would be hilarious. Alright, a Rune of Slowness catches the Black Lions right in the middle of some Rangers who are all turning to shoot them. But, ooh, you are getting punished by grenades and by a Searing Doom as that happens, so both sides trading an awful lot of damage. Yeah, that Ranger unit got fucking deleted. And these Rangers are grouped up. Thankfully, there is no Outriders grenade launchers or Searing Doom to punish them. Otherwise, the Dwarves would be in big trouble, but that could have been brutal. Damn, that was a painful gauntlet run for the old Black Lions. They took a lot of damage. Gelt takes a little bit of poke from the Rune Lord. That was actually a decent win for Sabres, I would say. Because his Black Lions took a lot of damage, but they didn't lose any models, they're still as effectively useful as they were before. And for that play, the Dwarves lost 2 of their Rangers. So, overall, I think the Empire's pretty happy with how that one went down. Another Searing Doom on the Rangers, as Outriders shoot at the Nordlings Ironbreakers, but they take a pretty bad trade in the meantime. Althar's Raiders are here. Can they turn and fire at the Black Lions? Not quite before the Black Lions realize they're there. Ooh, this is rough for the Empire. Dwarf Warriors finally catch the Sunmaker crew. It was only a matter of time before you slipped up, and if you slip up once, they're just going to die. Without them, the balance of power should shift significantly into the favor of the Dwarves and get us closer to army losses. Ooh, and this is another mistake. Gelt lands straight into the Nordlings Ironbreakers, who will just beat his ass in melee combat. Now he's trying to get out, so he didn't take that much damage from it, but it could have been a huge mistake. Hellstorm Rocket Battery crew is slipping away from the Dwarf Warriors after taking a lot of damage. Marched by Althar is out from the Althar's Raiders. They are going to throw it almost point-blank range onto the Outriders, as some also Rangers on the hill get really good damage out onto them. And other Rangers continue to shoot at the Black Lions. I don't see how the Empire could win it. I don't. Grenade launchers continuing to fire. Ooh, and this is a little bit of a mistake from the Dwarves, having their Rangers overlapped like this. They are going to take double damage from those grenades, and other grenades are moving in to punish them as well, as Gelt also dives on to protect the grenade launchers from more damage. Though the Rangers with the guard mode on are firing, they're getting decent DPS out, and they might even rout those Outriders. If the Outriders rout, I don't know where they'll end up going, so they could run into more Dwarves, but really nice grenade volley. You can see those 2 Rangers were pretty healthy, and now they're both dead, so that overlapping is brutal. You can't make mistakes like that versus the grenade launchers. They'll punish you so bad. Nordlings Ironbreakers somehow firing out of the side of their formation, but they did get a little bit of damage out on the Outriders. Both these Rangers are routing, and Althar's Raiders are firing back into the Outriders. We'll finally get that grenade launcher to rout. On the high ground, Ekron's Miners were pulled back to just sandwich in the Sunmaker and get rid of them. They're getting routed off the map. Balance of power is danger low, and now you have to start playing the weird gamesmanship of using your ammo effectively, because if you fire shots that aren't worth it on the balance of power, you might just get army lost, as silly as that is. And the Dwarves are running out of range tools. Yeah, they're mostly down to just random Dwarf Warriors and Nordlings Ironbreakers and shit like that, which is still a big problem, but I guess if the Empire had a ton of ammo and time, they could kill everything here. Gelt's taking a bit of damage. He's trying to rout off the Althar's Raiders. Nice big Searing Doom. Does really good damage to the Rangers, getting them to probably rout as well. And Outriders are firing on the side of the Bugman's Rangers. They might have to turn to a melee cav kind of soon and make sure these guys keep routing rather than fighting that way. Slayers. Do Slayers take a lot of damage from grenades? Actually a pretty good amount. I thought they were spread out enough that they might not, but looks like they're fine. They're chilling. 7 volleys left on that. 3 on the Black Lions. 8 on this Outrider. That Outrider's routing. If that Outrider goes off the map, army losses is going to hit. I'm calling it now. Because he has so much ammo, and this shit's already so bad. Alright, is Human Boy right? As soon as these guys leave, does army losses hit? Oh, lag spike right there, you fucking ass. Alright, they left. 3, 2, 1. Damn it. That was wrong again. This army lot, okay, this balance of power is honestly a little aggressive. Like, that balance of power feels like the Dwarves have an entire healthy army and the Empire is just fucking doomed. Like, the Empire still has a caster who's throwing out tons of spells. You have ammunition on your Outriders. I don't know. Seems a little bit silly. Yeah, he's just getting army lost now. That seemed a bit random. Like, I do think that was going to be a Dwarven victory, but I don't know why the game assumed that that was army losses, and like 5 minutes ago it wasn't. 2 tourneys at once? What you talking about? For the Dwarves, there was a lot of marching. Rangers did very well. Dwarf Warriors. Okay, just the Rangers did well. Everything else did okay. Gelt is worth his weight in gold. Ha. 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 Gelt did pretty well. Black Lions did pretty well. Unfortunately, the Sunmaker didn't get to fire. It got pushed off immediately by the Dwarves. Bold Vanguard position. The Outriders did... Wow, the Outriders actually got pretty bad value overall. Grenade Launchers did well. Spearman got killed. GG. GG. Dom turning going as well. I see. My eyes no work, but I see. It's a scroll quote. Okay. We have a VOD versus VOD finals, but which VOD will be the VODist? I am rooting for Raced because I, at the very start of the tournament, said Raced would win the whole thing. So, of course, I want Raced to win because I want to be correct. It is nothing against Bjorn as a person. I just like being right. This is best of 3, which is why I've switched to the screen that has the scorecard. We'll get on with it. This is the last best of 3 because this is finals. No, you only watch sub? Ha, because Dom and sub. I got it. Lich does not do domination, he does lane battles. I remember some of these things. Okay, sorry. I was distracted. Oh, damn it. They switched sides on me. Cut. Paste. Cut. Paste. Now I can space this one out a bit more because Race's name is much shorter than Bjorn's. And on the other side, I need to fix it because Bjorn's name is much longer than Race's. I'm going to grab a drink. I will return when I feel like it. Hey, Bubba. How was your nap? Okay. You want to come co-stream with me? No. Okay. Ah, dick, fuck. I'm gonna open the windows. It's hot as hell in here. The AC's not on. I don't know. Do you want it on? Yeah, I go to open the windows. Oh, fuck that. I thought it was supposed to be colder this week. I still feel live too. Alright, air's on. I'm back. I'm back. Lil Trill, I don't abuse you. I've never done anything wrong to anybody. Man, Ben Weasel really hates X. Today's stream is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. If you enjoy Raid and Shadow and Legends and you have a phone and a lot of disposable money to throw at a game, Raid Shadow Legends, it's probably still a bad game. You blew up my Steam Tank that one time? Good. Steam Tanks are for the weary. Looks like we might have a Dark Elves versus Lizardman game. Hard to tell, because Race just hovers Dark Elves all the time, but he also plays them, so I don't know. Uh-oh. Nico Boy Blue, exactly. Now you're getting it. Please don't punch me. Did you see that Riot accidentally broke League of Legends again? No, what did they do? What did they do this time? Alright. There might have been a handshake for some fuckery. I would like to alert you all that there might, in fact, be fuckery here. Not bad fuckery. Just fuckery. A CB train at 1,000 gold is more capable of doubling its value than a Steam train at 2,100 gold. That just seems... That seems correct. Because, I mean, having a lower price point usually makes doubling yours easier. The client is now occasionally forcing people to dodge. Oh. Yeah, somehow the League of Legends client has been consistently the worst thing that has ever been created. I don't know how that thing's always so buggy and fucked up. Now Lil Trill is out there spitting facts. Earlier you were saying I was mean to you, and now you're clarifying that I did not, in fact, punch you or break your tooth. I think the specifics really helped your case there. I think people were worried that you were lying until you got very specific about what I didn't do. Oh, Sakura, are you talking about the Steam Tank? For the Empire? I thought you were talking about the trains for the Chaos Storms, because the Chaos Storms also have trains, so I was confused what you're talking about. Yes, if you mean the Steam Tank is hot garbage. It's fucking terrible. Alright, Bjorn is ready. Raced is sitting on 5 gold, and he is contemplating what to do with this 5 gold. Looking at these builds, I don't know who wins, but I think you do, fair audience. I think you win with these builds. These are funny. And then Bjorn's going to pop in chat and be like, these are serious builds, man. And I'm going to shake my head and wonder. All right, take a look. What do you got? What do you got? Steam Tank is still the best tank. Is it? I think the Chaos Dwarf things could be considered tanks by now, and they're pretty goddamn good. The ROR Troglodon versus Rakarth on a dragon. Nerfed Rakarth, might I add. Rakarth already was not a good lord, and then with the dragon changes for the Dark Elves, he took a nerf specifically on this mount. Got it. Got it. So both armies are going to set up, and I don't really want to start talking about them until they're more set up, because otherwise they move shit and I can't keep track of it, though honestly, Bjorn and his Lizardman got set up very quickly. We have the Pale Death, the Feral Troglodon ROR, that gives it Primal Roar. Huh. Plus 24 melee attack. Other than that, it just has slightly better stats than the normal Troglodon. We have triple Skink Skirmisher, 2 Skink Cohorts, 4 Saurus. 2 of them are the Club Warriors, 2 are the Spears. Then we have 4 Feral Cold Ones. The Thunderous one, who is a good boy that I haven't seen for actually quite a long time. He is an ROR Stegodon that used to get a lot of playtime in Warhammer 2. Then we have Lord Mazdamundi with Ruination of Cities as his only bound ability, and then with Apotheosis and Net of Amratok as his 2 spells. Trains aren't tanks, are they? I think they might be tanks. I think they might be tanks. On the other side, for the Dark Elves, this build, I don't know. I'll go through it first, and then I'll say my thoughts on it. We have a Witch Elf, 2 Witch Elves for some Rampage, 1 Sister of Slaughter, some Dread Spears and Bleak Swords, 2 Scourge-on Chariots, Rakarth up on his dragon. Yeah. Cool. Good for you. Sorceress of Shadows with Melkos, Mystifying Miasma, and Pit of Shades, and then Triple Cold Knight. I think this Dark Elf army, if you cut the Caster and the Lord, is actually pretty solid. I don't know about the Sisters of Slaughter. I don't know if they're good here or not. Like, that's not like a I doubt them. That's a factually, I have never seen them in this matchup, so I don't know. But I think if the rest of this is pretty serious, except for the Sisters, Rakarth, and the Caster. And the Caster isn't terrible. I think there's just better options versus Lizardmen, like Pit of Shades and Melkots. Okay, but you're facing a roster with a lot of healing, so you kind of want, I don't know, more conclusive spells, I guess. Like Fate of Buna or something to actually kill off models quickly, because just whittling them down with Melkots, they'll get healed up. And Rakarth's fucking Rakarth. I don't really need to explain that one to you. He's just not that good. I seem to have problems if I've been in chat. No, I can see you. Heavily armored fighting vehicle carrying guns moving on continuous articulated mental track. Yeah, it sounds like a tank. So the Pale Death attempted to get some kiting out. He is dodging the Scourge Runners to the best of his ability. But man, that's going to make it hard for him to get a shot. He turns, he tries to fire, he gets a shot off, and he hits Rakarth, doing as much damage as the Scourge Runners did to him, and the Scourge Runners take a lot less time to shoot. Skink Skirmisher is trying to fire back at the Scourge Runners as they move up. Rakarth continues to take a little bit of damage from these Skirmishers and from the Pale Death. And the Thunderous one moves to intercept him. But yeah, Rakarth doesn't have any healing, so the health he gets is the health he gets, and he's already missing about a quarter of it, visually. I don't know, numbers-wise. Cold One Knights got a little overzealous, but Sisters of Slaughter are here to bail them out, and Sisters of Slaughter should perform very well into these Feral Cold Ones and the Source. So this is exactly the kind of fight that they want. Meanwhile, the Pale Death continues to fire back the Scourge-on Chariots, who are now in melee combat with Saurus. They do need to back up. These Witch Elves are having a terrible time, but Rakarth could throw a breath attack down onto these 2 clumped up infantry units, get a lot of damage value, but it looks like he's busy trying not to get sniped. And in fact, he's going to do some sniping as he lands onto Mazdamundi, getting a big charge attack. Looks like a Pit of Shades is going for these Skink Skirmishers. That is an interesting choice to go for the Skink Skirmishers. I guess it's to protect Rakarth, but you think they'd want to use them on some of these blobs of Saurus or something. Coldwood Knights are threading their way through the middle, but a huge ruination of cities just murders the Sisters of Slaughter and the Dread Spears and gets a little bit of poke damage onto the Coldwood Knights. Rakarth takes about a third to almost half HP off Mazdamundi, and he's now got the Pale Death in a rampage state. I don't know what caused him to rampage. I think it might be his own thing. Yeah, he just has rampage. Okay, cool. Don't know why he has rampage, but he does. So Mazdamundi's running away, healing himself up. He needs to give the thing cold-blooded to the Pale Death to get it out of here. The Thunderous one, meanwhile, is kicking Rakarth's ass with a synced animation, putting him on his back. Rakarth's taking a ton of damage. The same synced animation goes again damaging Rakarth. And he needs to just get out of here as the Pale Death continues to run. It does now have cold-blooded to keep it alive and safe. Lizardmen taking advantage on the bounce power and the gold damage value. I would tend to agree, though. The Shadows Caster and a very healthy Coldwood that are trying to punish Mazdamundi as Rakarth also dives in to get some of that sweet, sweet love and Milkcost Mystifying Miasma damaging those feral cold ones. And the Thunderous one is trying to get through all these knights, trying to get to Rakarth, keep him on the back foot, and also save Mazdamundi, who throws out another heal, this time onto himself. Actually, last one was on himself, too. Elsewhere, the fight real quickly. Dark Elves Infantry losing overall. Lizard Infantry winning overall. In the mobile game overall, the Coldwood Knights are taking a crap ton of damage. Yeah, wow, a crap ton of damage. So the only thing really going well for the Dark Elves is the Lord Snipe at the moment. And their Scourge Rune Chariots are still alive, and I wanted to say healthy, but they're currently sitting in Saurus Spears and taking a shitload of damage for it. They do need to get out of there. It looks like they don't really know that is happening just yet as the Shadows Caster continues to pursue Mazdamundi, continues to pursue the Pale Death and try and take them out. But yeah, that Scourge Runner getting caught up in the spears like that for too long, that's a brutal way to lose that unit. Rakarth dives in once again onto Mazdamundi, who throws out his third Apotheosis that we've even seen. Rakarth's back on the ground, but the Thunderous one is right here, and we previously saw what he could do to Rakarth. It was not pretty for Rakarth. Beast Slaver is popped, giving him some bonus versus large and such. Another Pit of Shades onto another Skink Skirmisher. If it's anything like the last one, it'll pretty much delete that unit. But this time, Bjorn did dodge some of that ability. Scourge Runners tried to charge Saurus for a bit, now they're backing off. Dark Elves are falling further behind on the balance of power. Mazdamundi continues to get sniped, though, as he throws a net down to get himself away from Rakarth and let the Thunderous one just continue to fight this boy. Will we see the attack animation for the third time, as Rakarth, while definitely netted, keeps walking forwards? Netted, by the way, continues to walk forwards towards Mazdamundi. Hey, we got the animation again! Synced animations are cool, but doing them every single time you attack is a little too much. Another Apotheosis, this time onto the Pale Death as it dives forward to hit that Shadows Sorceress. Ooh. Say goodnight to the Cold One Knights as the Ruination of Cities comes for them all. Tears through them, does really good damage. Mazdamundi is about to rout, though. Rakarth dives in, but he just routs now, and army losses will hit. Mazdamundi stays alive. Rakarth, only 1900 value. I honestly thought he would have gotten more, but he really struggled dueling large things. I repeat, Rakarth really struggled dueling against large things. Thankfully, the Beastmaster of Karand Kar is not that good against large targets. I bet he's a lot better versus infantry. The Beastmaster is still really bad versus large beast targets. Moving on. Sisters of Slaughter, 500 gold. Scourge Runner Chariots doing better than Rakarth. That's not how that works. It does in spirit. Pit of Shades Caster did fine. Witch Elves did okay. Bleak Swords of Dread Spirits got murdered. And Rakarth still sucks against large targets. I'm not mad about it. Mazda did well. Thunderous one did fantastically. The Pale Death, did okay. Need a lot of healing and support, and even then it didn't quite, it didn't come close to paying for itself. Saurus did well. Frail Cold Ones did fine. Skink Skirmishers did well, and Skink Cohorts did well. Wait, what is the Beastmaster bad against? Oh, large targets. I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked if the Beastmaster was any good against large beast-type monsters. But it just turns out that he's not. It just turns out that he's still shit at it. Cool to see Ricard. Sad to know he's hot garbage at his price. Yeah, because he was almost 3,000 gold. Is VOD a new clan? They're a very old clan that is awoken recently. Blizzard build wasn't a boring heal blob either. It was a good match overall. Yeah. These two guys are clanmates, so I can't tell if that was actually what they thought was the best in this matchup or if they kind of handshake to have a bit of fun. I don't know. Because both sides took something that I would consider to be very strange, like Rikarth on his dragon versus the Pale Death. Rikarth with none of his items or abilities on his dragon is more expensive than a Soul Stealer Sorceress on dragon. Barely a difference in stats. Yeah. That sounds about right. Rikarth is just way too expensive. But he is one of those characters, we've talked about this a lot with balancing, where like there are certain characters that I like how they perform in the game, but not for their price point. Like the example I have is the Exalted Keeper of Secrets. I like the Exalted Keeper of Secrets. I think the unit feels like it should, right? You have this big armor-piercing kind of duelist type character. She can charge through things. You largely think she can charge through. She can charge through them. If she thinks she's going to get stuck, she gets stuck. She takes a lot of damage, but she deals a lot of damage. She's a good support lord. Like, all those things. I think the Keeper of Secrets is where it should be function-wise. The reason I still think it's a bad lord and the reason I think it needs buffs is I really want it to get a cost decrease. But I don't want it to perform better, if that makes sense. Because there are things that are just annoyingly good. Like, too good, they feel like they're in the wrong video game. Like, Imrik on his dragon with healing support. Like, Imrik could just sit in anti-large armor-piercing things and take very little damage sometimes, and it's frustrating. Or like Malekith before his cost increase. Those are things I think should perform worse than they do in the game. Like, they might need factual nerfs, not like gold nerfs. But the Keeper of Secrets is not one that I want to get actual buffs. I just want it to be cheaper because it already functions well. Rikarth is one of those that's the opposite way. Rikarth's price point actually isn't my biggest problem. It is a problem. My biggest problem is that Rikarth loses to a lot of large targets. And it's like, that is his thing. If you get Rikarth to fight a large target, he should beat its ass into the dirt. And we just saw that he trades about even with the Thunderous one. And it's like, okay, but you can make this guy as cheap as you want, right? You can do that, but it's not going to make him feel better. When you take fucking Rikarth, the Beastmaster, you run into a beast and you don't beat it, it's going to be frustrating. Like, people aren't going to want to play it. So that's my biggest problem with, like, units like that, like Rikarth, where it's like, it doesn't feel in the game, regardless of cost. Like, even if I take Rikarth in campaign, I feel sad. Are Vampire Coast any good right now? Yeah, they're fine. They're fine. They're not OP. They're not bad. They are decidedly solid. I think Vampire Coast is in a really good balance spot. Now, certain units could use buffs. Certain units could use nerfs. But as a faction, as a whole, I don't want their power to go up or down. So I hope if they like, oh, we're going to buff Mourngul Haunters or whatever, I hope that they would nerf something like a little bit of damage off of bombers, maybe. Or animated hulks, a little bit of a cost increase. You know, like, I want them to stay at roughly this tier, because I think they're like B tier right now. They're good. Looks like we have High Elves Beastmen. What are good against then? They can't duel SEM, they can't delete a Bob, infantry. Lizard Bill wasn't boring. Sadly, Sea Dragons just against everything. Oh. Depends on the dragon. Dragons with their own form of healing are really good right now. Has Rakarth ever worked? No. He is not, unfortunately. He has a Scourge Runner Chariot mount, which is just terrible. Like, its damage does not scale well with being a single entity. And then its melee animations are still hot garbage. So, yeah, I don't know. Rakarth needs some buffs. And I don't even see the argument of, like, don't buff Rakarth because in campaign... Yeah, in campaign, he still sucks. We're not gonna hurt the campaign community if we buff fucking Rakarth. Alright. High Elf build is down to 5 gold. Raced is ready. Beastman build is down to 5 gold. Will Bjorn ready up, or will he go back and try to recover that 5 gold? Oh my god, he's just leaving 5 gold on the table. Up. Nope. You miss old Sartorial? Marcus, was it? Are you new to this channel? Be honest with me. Are you new to this channel? Did you join within the last 8 months? Before we abandoned Warhammer 2 forever. Did you join after that point? Bellicor, I feel like you might be using the joke quite a bit that both these players are VOD. I'm catching a hint of that from you. Go VOD, but both are VOD, VOD for the win, VOD for the win. Who's gonna win, VOD or VOD? And those are all the ones that are just on my screen right now. I think you might be excited about it. Yeah, I'm new? Alright, Marcus. Alright. I fucking hate old Zarthoriel. That bitch ruined so many of my games. As a Skaven main, he's like, I have 1,000,000 missile resist and spell resist and I'm unbreakable and I have infinite mass. I can just walk through all your things. I can kill all your lords in melee, but I also can't take any damage at range. Tee-hee! I have Lord of Metal, one of the best lores in the game. I'm just gonna final trans your lord, then walk over and terror out them immediately. Tee-hee, motherfucker! I can outduel Queek, because I can knock him over because I'm a large terror causing SCM, and I can just final trans his ass and terror out him immediately. I'm so fun, tee-hee! Ah, I hate Zarthoriel in Warhammer 2. I'm glad he's dead. And that's how I feel. Does he need buffs right now? Objectively, yes. Like, funny haha, anger meme aside, yes, he needs buffs right now. He for sure does. But there is that part of me that played a ton against Zarthoriel in Warhammer 2 that was like, leave him in the dirt. Fuck that guy, I hate him. Rakarth is barely even relevant in campaign, he just stays off the side of Lustria. Yeah. Yes, but no, like, more seriously, Sartorial needs some serious buffs. And I do hope that, like, every lord, you know, obviously in a perfect world, every lord would have a viable reason to take them, and right now there's just none for Sartorial. There are Tzeentch casters that do metal, and they're better than he is, and even on Warriors of Chaos, there's Chaos casters that do metal that are better and cheaper than he is, so Sartorial just sucks right now. Alright. The builds for this, we have 2 Centaurs with throwing axes on this side. We have the Eye of Morsleep Cygor ROR, some Ungor Spearmen herds across the front line, plus an Ungor herd. 3 different Minotaurs. So we have a Minotaur, the Minotaur ROR, the Butcher's the Kelvin Guard, and a Minotaur with great weapons. Morgur the Shadowgave with his Chaos Spawn summons, and a Brave Shaman of Wild with another Cygor summon with the Savage Dominion and Devolve. Plus a Razorgore herd in the very far back. For the High Elves, we have Illyrian Reavers in the trees, 5 Rangers for a front line, 4 Illyrian Reaver Archers, 1 Shadow Warrior, another Illyrian Reaver there, 2 Silver Helms, a Mage of Shadows with Melkoth Mystifying Miasma and Enfeebling Foe, and Tyrion, Heir of Anarion, wielder of Sunfang, savior of Ulthuan and the Phoenix Crown. Also, he diddles Alariel. If you want to game 3, you are rooting for the High Elves. If you want this shit to be over so you can stop listening to me, you are rooting for the Beastmen. Centaurs have found some Illyrian Reavers in the woods. That's not a great target for them. Their arm-piercing axes are wasted, and shooting in the woods, some of their stuff is hitting trees. Illyrian Reavers are going to chase after them. Illyrian Reavers won't be able to kill both of them in melee, but it'll distract them for a while and waste some of their ammo, so overall, solid play. It looks like even some Rangers are coming back here just to say hello. Beastman backline is falling away, while the Eye of More Sleep continues to try and get some damage out. Decent shot, hit some Silver Helms. Didn't do any damage for some reason, but it hit some Silver Helms. I've seen a lot of Malagor. Are you talking about Morgar or Malagor? Malagor Dark Omen? I love that fucking guy. He's my favorite Beastman Lord right now. I actually think he's good. Land Reavers did catch up to the Centaurs. They will now pay for that transgression. Honestly, like, it's way too much micro to ask of Raced, but the Land Reaver would have been much happier not catching them, but just, like, chasing them. And then if they turn around, he needs to run away too, because he's not going to win that fight. Meanwhile, Minotaurs are fighting against the Silver Helms, and a big Cygor boulder hits, does some pretty good damage, starts a terror out over there. And the Reaver archers are shooting at those guys. These are basic Minotaurs, they are unshielded. Morgar throws down the first of his Chaos Spawn summons. That might have been too aggro from Bjorn here. I mean, this fight was already getting won, and adding a precious Chaos Spawn summon to it is not going to help. And that was not his involuntary one. I saw the little summon marker come down, so it was one he opted into. The High Elves are getting creamed on the balance of power. Good God. Damage value, they're about the same, but the balance of power does not believe in them at all. Oh my God. That's so bad. Why is it so bad? Tyrion, ooh, going for a huge play if he can snipe out the Wilds caster. Unfortunately, he punts him through the air. So we'll see if he can actually finish that guy off. So there's one Chaos Spawn summon out from Morgar so far. The Minotaurs of Grey Oak is taking a lot of damage. The skirmish elements for the High Elves are largely safe and still firing in. Tyrion continuing to hit. Oh, there's a Cygor summon here. That's why the balance of power is so bad. Okay. A good hit onto the Shadow Warriors, but just doesn't do any damage. Cygors need some buffs. More damage, please. Lots of summons. Yeah, I saw the Cygor and I assumed it was the Eye of More Sleep because they're in roughly the same spot, but that's just me fucking up. Being a dumb piece of shit. Little lag spike here as the Bray Shaman started casting something. Don't know what happened there. Beastmen in the trees are doing well. They're coming out of the trees chasing a bunch of dead rangers. What will the High Elves do when the moo cow comes for you? Morgar, thinking he's a big, tough, strong man, is going to go fight Tyrion, and I promise you that won't go the way you think it will, my friend. Chaos Spawn summon fades away. The Cygor summon has 9 seconds left to live as the Eye of More Sleep continues to throw and has a completely pathetic 400 damage value. God damn it, I hate Cygors. They are so trash for some reason. They're trash. I refuse to harbor any balanced argument about this. That is a trash unit. Tyrion beats the shit out of Morgar, while another flying rock goes in and hits like one High Elf. So how are we doing? Bounce power is creeping back towards the middle as all the summons start to fade. Morgar still has one Chaos Spawn summon in the back pocket, though it is his involuntary one. Butcher's Skeleton Guard half HP and regenning. Very healthy Ungor Spearman herd. 2 very healthy Centaurs. That's going to be a huge problem for the High Elves in the late game. More Ungor Spearman herds are actually doing quite well, so is that Razor Gore herd. Of course, the Eye of More Sleep is full health. No one cares about him. For the High Elves, Tyrion is big chillin'. Shadows Caster is also doing well. Some of the Illyrian Reaver skirmish cav is, actually all of it, is quite healthy, though they are running out of ammunition. Still have some Silver Helms. It's a pretty even game overall. The balance power is still full of shit. High Elves are actually up on the damage value, and they're way down on the balance power. Tyrion continues to do battles. Some Silver Helms opt into helping him out, and in melee combat, Centaurs will lose to these Silver Helms quite handedly. Their high armor and high stats from martial prowess is just going to make them too formidable of a foe for these hybrid skirmish cav. You do have Butcher's Skeleton Guard nearby that could get a nasty rear charge on the Silver Helms here. Yeah, there it goes. So this will be the death of the Silver Helms. Morgar did get away, but it was at the cost of his healthy Centaurs. Both of them took some decent damage. One of them more so than the other. Illyrian Reavers running around. When they run out of ammo, they can just start rolling over any Beastmen units that are low. and chasing them off the map. That could be a decent use of their time. Brave Shaman of the Wilds is still being put on the back foot, and he has a second Cygor summon in the back pocket. Not that I think a Cygor is particularly good. Still, if he can, he should pop it before he routes, because Tyrion looks like he's coming for blood. Yes, he is. He has a big spooky red arrow onto our friend, the Brave Shaman. Unless he knocks him away to safety again, because that shit happens a lot. But if he gets a solid charge attack, that guy's dead as hell. Alright. That was kind of a neither option. He didn't really do that much damage, but he didn't knock him away either. Bounce Power still hating on our friends, the High Elves. Illian Reavers continue to poke at the Butchers of Kalkengard, but with the routing Bray Shaman, now Tyrion can fuck off because he doesn't need to chase him anymore. As long as he puts the Rangers on that guy, he ain't gonna rally. Why are those rocks so yellow? I don't know. Nice hit, but it didn't really do any damage. Cygors are actually much better now in the Warhammer 2 because the explosion damage changes. They don't feel like it. There's the second Chaos Spawn summon. It took out, it looks like that super wounded Ranger unit. It took their bodies and turned them into Chaos Spawn. Ooh, and also a Centaur charge plus the Spawn plus Spearmen are taking out these Illyrian Reavers. Now, Tyrion is stuck fighting the Butcher's Kalkengard and Morgar. This is an okay fight for him, especially with Faint Riposte up. He is big chillin'. But he needs to be careful about army losses. If he gets too low or something and the elves are viewed to be losing, his Heart of Averlorn won't pop. Because if that pops, he'll be fine. Also, he needs to be careful not to break before it pops. And that shit happens all the time. Shadow Warriors and Rangers run down by Spawn and Centaurs. One of the Centaurs is routed off, but it is too late for the Shadow Warriors and the Rangers, who are on their way out. Silver Helms are perpetually chasing the Brave Shaman of the Wild, because for some reason being a foot character makes you tankier than God. On the top side, Silver Helms and Illyrian Reavers opting in to help Tyrion, who is still fighting against the Butchers of Kalkengard and Morgar. And the Eye of Morsleep has one shot left, but he is wandering in now to be a discount giant for like twice the cost. What up, Daniela? How you doing? Silver Helms get rear charged by the Centaurs and the Chaos Spawn, who still have 19 seconds left of life. Hopefully the High Elves aren't using too much of their ammo on those guys before they fade away. And Tyrion is in the middle of a bad time. His cavalry support has gone bye-bye. And Illyrian Reavers, out of ammo, are going to rush in and try and help their Lord and Savior, Tyrion. Now, thankfully for the High Elves, they have a very healthy caster. That is a huge boon to their balance of power that will help them avoid army losses if Tyrion gets low. Because that is just one of the biggest problems, is like the game doesn't factor in that Tyrion can heal a massive amount. But this could be a big problem. The Brave Shaman of the Wilds is getting away. He is going to rally on the sides. And the Chaos Spawn summon faded, but it did its job. It had a lot of disruption and a lot of damage. If that caster comes back, that could be a big problem, because he can summon... Oh, fuck. Okay, he can summon a Cygor in the late game, and that can boost the bounce power to such ridiculous levels that you might get army losses based off of a summon. Yeah, he's getting the Cygor. God damn it, I called it. I hate being a mega genius sometimes. It is a huge burden. And for anybody who can't appreciate sarcasm, that is sarcasm. Like, I was right about that thing. That doesn't mean I'm a mega genius. Bounce power got all of a sudden really terrible for the elves as Tyrion continues to fight, and he's getting low. He's getting real low. Now the mage is trying to help fight off the Butchers of Kalkengard and this other Centaur. Meanwhile, a lot of High Elf shit is routing. The Heralds of the Wind do take a good fight against the Centaurs with throwing axes. Another Melkoth Mystifying Miasma onto the Butchers of Kalkengard. But army losses hits. I fucking called it! God, it sucks being a mega genius. No! No, it's so sad, man. The fucking Cygor summon wins it on balance of power alone. I hate it. I hate it. It makes me the saddest panda that ever did panda. God damn it. I don't know, like, okay, factually I know what was with the balance of power. It was all the summons, but like, the balance power itself felt so whack that entire game. It was just like, nah, fuck these guys. The whole game was like, fuck the High Elves, they can't do it. No. Summon shouldn't count for balance of power. Not that much. That was a ridiculous balance of power. God damn. Brutal, brutal. I just want to see that, I want to see that ending again. Because I was calling it ahead of time where I'm like, as long as you keep the bounce power fine, Tyrion can get his heal off, but if the bounce power gets fucked, then he's doomed. And that second Cygor summon just made it so he was doomed. Yeah, the bounce power for the game started pretty good for the Beastmen. And you are right, the Beastmen always get a bit of bounce power boost, but still, that felt extra even for them. So pretty early on, the bounce power is still against the High Elves. Dude, this fucking caster, man. Tyrion's on top of him, struggles to get real hits in. Now he starts getting some. Then he chases him, struggles to get more hits in. Struggles to get more hits in. The caster runs away from Tyrion. Tyrion bodies Morgar for a little bit. But this caster, like, imagine if he had actually died. Like, Tyrion didn't miss, like, 3 out of those 5 charging rear attacks. And then the caster routes here, with Tyrion charging over. Tyrion doesn't even hit him, by the way. His health didn't spike down like it should have. And he just gets chased around for a million years, barely taking any damage on the ground. You can see his health on the left side. Barely taking any damage. And he gets away. And, like, if this bitch had fucking died... Because look at this balance of power. That's chilling for the High Elves. That's chilling. It's not great, but, like, it's not going to army loss you anytime soon. And watch it when the Cygor summon comes out. Boom. Cygor. And even then, it's not that army loss bad. So what, like, really turns it? I mean, it's bad, but it's not, like, army loss bad. Valyrian Reavers route. He doesn't look terrible yet. Oh, it's a big hit onto Tyrion. Yeah, he's gonna take another hit. Oh, and he terror routes! God damn it, Tyrion! Why don't you have ITP, you fucking idiot? Okay, that seals the deal. Yeah, he terror routed. And then the game treats him as routing, and it's like, well, then you have no shot. God damn it, Tyrion, you fuck! How could you terror route? The High Elves were counting on you! You stupid asshole. God damn it, Tyrion. Why? Why does he route like that? He doesn't have ITP. You know, like, here's the fucked up part. Here's the fucked up part. Tyrion doesn't have ITP. You know who does have ITP? Richard, the free LC Dark Elf foot hero. And that's really fucked up. Because Richard's free. Like, you can just take Richard in any army. But Tyrion doesn't. Because, like, look. Richard's right in this unit. And he just fucking books ass. This guy, this little bitch, gets ITP. Tyrion doesn't. Why doesn't Tyrion get ITP? It's so dumb. Like, okay, I get it. He's part of a larger unit. 119 guys don't have ITP. But Richard does. He does. He's the fast Dark Elf. The fast boy. I love that. I love that clip so much. He just fucking sprints, and then the other Bleak Swords slowly catch up to him. But he just like zoom, and the rest of the units are like way behind him. If you weren't here at the start of the stream, this was a very, in my opinion, very funny thing from the start of the stream, so I was going full circle. But yeah. So now that you know what to watch for, watch how fucking funny that Bleak Sword is when he starts the game. No. See you, nerds. He's just so far in front of him. Like, no one else is doing that. Just him. And then he realizes how far ahead he is and he like starts to fall back a little bit, and that's even funnier to me. Like, ah, shit, I'm sorry, guys. My bad. Yeah. Alright, that's the stream for today. Friday Night Fights hosted by Cool Umbrella. Thanks to him for putting this all together for us. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Tomorrow we have the ODM tournament, Challengers of the Grail. Casting that. And then Sunday we have an RTK tournament. Also land battles, and then I'll figure out what I'm doing for next week. So we have 2 more streams in the next 2 days. Hopefully you all are having a great Friday. I think Turin is still streaming, so if you want to go watch some domination stuff, go over there. Or maybe he's not streaming. I didn't check. I've been here with you the whole time. I haven't gone anywhere. Goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Congratulations to Bjorn for winning it all.